Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome to the first of several tours that are going to be posted to the channel over the next week and a half while I'm traveling for Thanksgiving. This is the one that I'm probably the most excited for, just because it's the world that has been around the longest, and that means there's a ton of stuff to show. So I am joined today by Fixxitt. Fixxitt, why don't you introduce yourself to the good people and tell us a little bit about this incredible world that you're going to be showing us.
Yeah, hey Wells, thanks for coming by. This is the Realm of Vasten. This is my baby. It's an SMP, but it's kind of like a single player world that a couple people play on. Generally, it's based heavily on Kingdom Craft, which is actually how I found your channel a couple years back. And yeah, it's like all community resources. We sort of do one base, or, one city or one village or whatever at a time, and move as a group. And sometimes there's a few of us, sometimes it's just me. It kind of goes on like that. And we're here at Spawn. This is called Travail. This is it's a birch forest. So we had to build out of birch when we started this world. Okay. And this is our birch texture. Our texture pack is done by Germsy Boy, who is wonderful, just a brilliant texture pack maker. And so I hate birch logs in particular. So he gave us these beautiful gray usable birch logs to use.
Very nice. And I should mention there will be a link to the texture pack in the description of the video. Link to Fixxitt's channel in the description of the video. Everything you need. Description. Read the description. Don't come to me and be like, where can I get the texture pack? It's in the description. I'm telling you right now. That's the answer to all your questions are answered in the description. Read it, people. I put it there for a reason. Anyway.
Yes, absolutely. and if that ever goes out of date, if you're watching this in the far future, then you can find on my Discord, there's always the most recent one linked. Yeah. So that's easy to find as well on my channel or whatever.
Also read the description. Hashtag end rant.
Perfect.
All right, let's jump into the tour.
Well, come with me. So look, we're not going to spend much time here in Travail because it is okay. So this is my first vanilla world. I basically started Minecraft playing modded, where you have a billion different blocks, and then I thought, hey, I'll just play vanilla, and I didn't know what I was doing. So we're just going to kind of skip this town. It's death by cobble, and you learn as you grow and build. So come with me. We'll leave this eyesore.
I'm gonna turn up my render distance a little bit. There we go. And this is all done in survival or in creative or a combination of the two?
This is all survival. Yeah, it's all survival with the exception of we do a couple command block things that we'll show you at some point here, like fun command block stuff, and then we do structure blocks for forests.
Okay. So it's
because forests are
it's like mostly survival with a couple minor exceptions for things that aren't fun to do in survival.
Exactly. Like, and very specific exceptions. It's not like when we're bored, or whatever. So this is our fast travel method. Everything in this world is connected by road and lore. I should say there's a wiki with more than 100 pages of lore and history and stuff of this world. We used extra large biomes and things are very far apart. So even though they're all connected by road, there are fast travel. So you can take this boat to our capital city, and that's where we're going to really start the tour. So if you just press that button, it'll take you.
It's magic.
It'll take you to Port Bray. This is the capital city of the world. Eventually, when it loads.
There we go. Whew.
Whoa! I actually popped outside the ship. That's never happened before.
I actually like this. I really like this ender chest texture. Actually, it's dark and ominous and scary.
So our texture pack, Germsy Boy does a pack that's getting quite well known. It's called A Taste of Germ, a little taste of Germ. This is kind of a variation that he's done for us, his beautiful, kind heart, called A Little Taste of Vasten. It's basically a little taste of Germ, but with some things that I would like. And in places I would like, for example, you see the roofs, the red roofs over there? Those are concrete. All of our concrete blocks in this texture pack are kind of like our special blocks, like painted wood, or shingles, things like that.
Makes sense.
It would have made more sense if I got the concrete stairs and slabs that I was expecting and hoping for.
I know, right? Why are there no, are you telling me that you've never walked on concrete stairs before?
I don't really understand why they didn't when they were giving us all the other stone things. But
I guess their thinking is maybe that you make concrete in a different way than you make concrete powder. Do you know what I mean? and they don't have a good way to do that with. But like, there's no reason you couldn't just make the concrete and then turn it into, like, I don't know. Anyway,
it makes me sad. It
me
definitely
too.
makes me
I
sad.
really want my concrete slabs and stairs for sure. Maybe it'll still happen, but I don't know.
Maybe it may still happen, but that's why we chose concrete for all these instead of terracotta and things. And plus, concrete doesn't spawn in the world, so you don't happen upon a mesa and find shingles or painted wood slabs.
Totally makes sense.
You know, so this is our main city. My idea is that Port Breigh, the entire world goes through Port Breigh. It's like the biggest city in the whole realm, although it's not anymore, but it was at the time of building. And each one of these ships goes to a different kingdom, and that's the fast travel method, just so it's realistic to play in a world this big in survival.
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
So, yeah, we build all these ships in survival, and then to be totally, full disclosure, I used structure blocks to make a copy of it, so I didn't have to build the exact same thing twice. So when you take this ship, for example, this one goes to Kalahal, then when you get to Kalahal, there's the exact same ship just outside of a different city.
That's
so it feels
really clever. That's really clever. That's I like it. It's like the old old RPGs from like the 90s.
That's
right?
exactly where I got it from. Yeah, exactly.
That is brilliant. I love it. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I'm hung up on this fast travel concept. That's brilliant. Anyway,
that may be the thing I'm very most proud of, to be honest, even despite all this building, because everyone who comes on this world is like, "Whoa! That blows my mind."
Yeah, that's a great idea. Also, the ships are gorgeous as well. Like,
thank you. It's not exactly my forte, but I watched some tutorials and did some learning.
Yeah, ships are hard. Ships are really hard to pull off well. I think I was talking about that when I did the tour with Whip.
Yes.
Recently, ships are difficult. Like if once you're really good at them, then like you're set. But like getting the shape right is a challenge for sure.
They are hard, and actually the size of them is funny too. When you go on like a world like Artacraft or something like that, and you see their ships, or you're like, oh, my ships are like canoes compared to these massive, enormous structures. It's just hard for me to think in scale of how big real ships are. They're not this big. They're much bigger, but it's okay. It's Minecraft, not real world.
I also realized that I could probably totally run shaders right now.
Oh, I would love to
look at that. Everything is suddenly even more beautiful than before.
I'm gonna have to watch your video because my computer laughs at me if I try to run shaders. It laughs at me very slowly and laboriously. So this is the Stone Docks of Port Breigh. My idea is, as we continue to add more and more kingdoms all over the world, we'll just keep wrapping these docks the whole way around. It's kind of a peninsula, so the docks will just continue to expand. We'll just keep adding more ships. There are some problems, like how do you take a ship to a landlocked area? So that's why we have an airship up there, or we have a prison cart and things like that will take you to different areas. Again, just so you don't have to spend 30 minutes riding a horse.
This airship is also pretty incredible, gotta say. I like it.
Thank you. We'll be taking that very shortly. That's to basically season 2. Was inspired by your idea of going to a different part of the world and calling it season 2. So we did that. We're just ending season 2, actually. Season 3 starts December 1st.
Oh, nice.
And a little sales pitch. If you're watching this channel and you are a YouTuber streamer and you're feeling like getting in on this, I'd love to have you. So come hang out with us. We'll be starting December 1st. So there's some things like I built. This is the first castle I ever built up here, up on top of the mountain. This is actually a fake mountain. I wanted a mountaintop castle, and some lessons were learned. It being the first one, I made some mistakes. I made a completely flat top mountain, which seems good for building, but it's not actually, and it's fine. It's fine. We'll get better next time. But it was an interesting build, and it gives a nice overlook of the rest of the city.
It still looks like super nice. It's still like super incredible. I love it. Like just the amount of like little details when you're looking at like the walls or like the towers, or there's lots and lots of little things that kind of like stand out.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun one. It was like the tail end of season 1, and I just wanted to kind of kind of finish it. You know how fun it is to start a new kingdom. It's so great, and then the middle part's really fun when you're adding much stuff, and like then the tail end comes, and it's like, oh man,
Yep.
I need to build like 30 more houses here to finish this.
Do you know why there's so many unfinished kingdoms in kingdoms?
I do. Yeah, I completely get that. Yeah, because that's kind of the grind. You know, that's the grindy part, and that's why this is a server and not a single player world, pretty much. You know. I can say, hey guys, you know what we need over here? About 20 houses. Let's go.
Oh, I like this bridge too.
Thank you. So I made a mistake. I made these little ice farms over here on the ground, and then I realized that they're not high enough. So we had to build higher ice farms. So I built this these 3 towers here. This is just an ice farm. It's just an excuse, you know. I need an ice farm up high, so I built the ice farm where ice would freeze and made it look kind of nice, I think.
How much of this stuff is functional? Like, serves a purpose other than, like, looking pretty, if that makes sense? Because, like, I see the ice farms over here.
Yeah.
What else is in this area that actually, like, is a farm or something like that?
Right. So each kingdom, we try to have one main farm. That's kind of the idea. One main sort of export. You know, and this one actually isn't ice. This one's actually stone. And let me show you where that is. There's a quarry just over here. Yeah, this is where the castle came from, actually, is this hole in the ground.
Oh, wow.
So I tried to do kind of a realistic medieval looking quarry and came up with this.
Ooh. This is lovely.
But this was actually dug, you know, by hand, because then all of this stone became that mountain, and then it became the castle. And so thank you, Beacon.
And actually, this little scaffolding staircase dealio thing that goes down,
yeah,
that actually totally works. I've tried to get something similar to that and get it right, and for whatever reason, like this is super simple, but it totally gets the job done. I like it.
I did a lot of Google images, you know, to kind of find some inspiration from concept art is the secret. If you're watching this and you're like, hey, I don't know how to build stuff, concept art, that's my biggest tip. Is like, not Minecraft, because I mean that means someone already did it. But if you look at concept art, there is everything. This is one of the landmark parts. Actually, this thing you just saw. If you were to press this button, then this goes to a place called Monument of the Fallen, just because there's no ocean there. So
gotcha.
It's another way, and everything goes through Port Bray. So if you want to go from like city A to city B, then you go from A to Port Bray and then to B. That way, it's future proofing. You know, all the future cities will be easy to get to.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Let's see, what else is here? I think this is pretty much it. Oh yeah, the lore. I forgot the biggest thing. So this world is at war. That's our biggest thing. So we're at war with the Nether. There was a Nether invasion. Zombie pigmen attacked, and everywhere they touch, they kind of corrupt the earth. And that is the main storyline that unites this whole world. So this is an invasion point, basically. They invaded here.
That's super cool.
They were turned back. But you can see like all the fires and everything from the invasion, and they can pop open everywhere. So the idea was, very briefly, the world in the Second Age, they were going to lose. Man was going to lose. So they sent a crack team of soldiers in, and they broke all the zombie pigmen portals and sacrificed themselves in lava. So, but because you don't have water in the Nether, you can't make new portals and you can't make new obsidian. So that was for hundreds and hundreds of years. There was no sign of them, and people kind of forgot. And then some idiot lit a portal, and when that happened, they came through and they got access to obsidian. And now the world is back at war currently. So that's kind of the ongoing storyline. So, but with all that being said, we can't use the Nether for fast travel because that wouldn't work with the plot.
Gotcha.
So that's why we have ships and all that kind of stuff. That was made in like a sort of response to not having a way to travel, you know, and I think it works kind of better.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm just going to grab a couple of screenshots of this beautiful castle here. All right, cool. That'll be the thumbnail.
Come over this way and I'll show you, this wasn't exactly in order of the plan, but this is my most recent build, and I think you'll think it's cool. This is the birthplace of witches called Helheim. This was actually a Patreon build, and one of the things I tried to do is like, if it's in the game, if it's in Minecraft, then it's in the lore. So like Endermen are in Minecraft, so that means there is a whole story behind Endermen and a church that worships the Endermen, for example. And this is the place where witches were born. It actually doubles as there's a witch farm right underneath the main altar there.
Nice. This is gorgeous as well. Man. Ooh.
So, I see Germ gave us a new purple glass texture. That's the first time I've seen that. That's nice.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So this is Helheim. It's been when there was this elf that tried to evolve humans basically, and the spell went wrong. And when it went wrong, it created witches who are magical but are insane, and that's why they try to kill you. If you see them, that's kind of like the storyline behind them, you know. So this is like where she made them, and then when she did that, also it mutated netherwort, so you can see there are big netherwort in different places that the people who live here have to constantly cut down and sort of fend off and stuff. But we needed a witch farm, so that's why I built this whole thing, was just to house a witch farm basically. I think I'm holding eggs. I keep throwing them every time I click.
Yeah, so I need to cover up a witch farm, so I just built, this massive thing. You're nuts, man.
Well,
I love it.
It's like a thing, like you can have a floating platform or something in the sky, or you can use that as an excuse to do something creative. And without excuses to do something creative, this game can seem really hopeless or I don't know. It can be tough to find direction without finding excuses, especially after you played a world for 2 years. Oh, you do know you've done it.
Yeah,
and so it's nice to come up with things like, I need a witch farm, so let's think of something to build over the witch farm instead of just a witch farm. I think that's a kind of cool way to make things interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is Helheim, and I tried the witch huts. I tried to sort of make like that. The wooden houses, tried to make them kind of look like a witch might live in there, like kind of a better witch hut than the Mojang ones.
Yeah, I think they look witchy.
And then this, there's a bunch of lore behind it, that kind of stuff. But why don't we zip back and I don't know where we are for time.
What about we could probably fit in like one more kingdom in this episode,
more?
And then we'll keep going with other episodes afterwards. We could probably fit one more in. We're about halfway through an episode right now.
Well, let's head over to Sandrasku then. That's our mob farm. It's not a great mob farm, to be honest. If you lost me, I just took off.
I'm behind you, but like, I'll make it.
Okay. So Sandrasku, that's like our prison. So I realized about a year and a half ago that we need a mob farm. I needed bone meal, and so I built a mob farm and decided, rather than a big mob platform in the sky, I decided to do well, I'll show you. It's the jail. It's the whole prison of all the realms. So if you're a bad boy, you get sent to jail. And go in this prison cart, and then push the button. I'll see it back because it's a proximity thing.
Oh, it's a cart. Nice.
So it's a prison cart, and you get sent to Sandrasku, which is it's a whole prison city in the realm, and it also doubles as our mob farm.
Gotcha. Out in the desert. Okay.
There we go. Yeah. So inside the castle up here is the actual mob farm. And this you can see is very unfinished. The wall is the border of how far away you have to be to make a mob farm functional. So that's why there's a wall, and that's why there's a torch stand everywhere for now, until we get it done.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so up in the top of this is the actual mob farm inside the castle. So I built the platform and then decided what to do around it, which was build this it's like a king's castle for now. And if you come in this bridge right below you, then you can see why this is not that effective a mod farm. But for so long, this is a single player world, and it's just me. So this is more gunpowder and stuff than I'll ever need when it is just me. So yeah, you get perfect timing. There goes the creeper right there.
Look at that.
So yeah, so these just turn on every once in a while.
Oh,
there's several.
Discord has you turned into a robot. Hold on. Okay, say that again.
Hello? Check.
There we go. We've got you.
Okay.
You're back.
I'm back. So yeah, and these are redstone torches, a model. I think the model was made by Eclipsion, actually, who's a fine model maker, actually, texture pack maker. But redstone, just so we don't have too much light, so mobs will spawn. But yeah, so that's that. And Sandrasku, there's because I need so, oh man, this is so big, and I have to fill it all, and it all has to be mob proofed. it's a task. It's a real task, you know.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the style eventually as we go, you know, just keep kind of work out this style. It's a very traditional Minecraft Desert City sort of vibe, you know, but we're working with time.
Yeah. Reminds me even like the brick texture here. This reminds me a lot of what's the name of B-Dub's Desert City?
Oh,
I forget what it's called.
I don't know that.
I forget what it's called. I know I should know that too, but this reminds me of it like a lot.
Is it Eden?
It might be. I know he named one of them after his daughter.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, this reminds me of that a lot, with like the big central kind of ziggurat. And then you know, like obviously the block palette. Not that like B-Dubs holds the copyright to, you know, Arabic architecture, right. But
I mean I've watched pretty much every one of those buildings beat up, so I can't say I'm not inspired by it, you know, even though I tried to do our own thing. I'm very aware of it as a but hey, let's check out in this church, and I'll show you maybe the last thing, because there's not really a lot more to see here in San Resque. I mean, the castle is kind of unique, but in this church, this is one of the religions. This is Church of the End, and Church of the End, they worship, of course, the Enderman, and the deal is this is how you repair your tools. So the idea is if you believe hard enough in the Enderman, then you will stand on this glass and push the button. Did you get teleported?
And you end up in an end portal. I see. Maybe.
Yes. Well, you end up in we call the end temple, which is a big structure. It's going to probably take you a few seconds to load in. It's a big boy. I built up to build height, and I built it right over an end portal. So the idea is if you believe in the Enderman, and you know we all do, so you walk right up here and you can fall. Take this plunge. If you can, try to not fall in the end portal in the very bottom.
Okay. Ooh. It's like the Assassin's Creed leap of faith.
Exactly. I actually call it the leap of faith. Yeah, exactly. So so we dug out underneath this end portal. We dug out, and I rebuilt an end city here.
So then this is... Okay, I see. So this is ground level. Wow, dude, this is nuts.
So so the idea was going to be like, you know, you fall straight into the end portal. But what I realized, and I thought, oh, this would be so cool, because you'll see the end city as you fall, and you're like, what? Am I already in the end? But what happens is you fall way too fast, you never see it. So all this for nothing. The only time you see this is world tours.
Is this like black concrete down here then, or
it's carpet? Our black wool texture is like a void, specifically for things like this, and also carpet, so mobs don't spawn.
Gotcha. That's wow.
I thought this was a really interesting idea. There's nothing to see in the end yet. Eventually, we're going to do an end city on the main island, but we haven't.
Yeah, that's really
in
cool.
An upcoming season.
That's fantastic. Having the end underneath. Yeah, that's nuts. Also, the chains. I love the little chains detail. Did you get the idea for that by any chance from Jaracraft, or did you have?
I did.
I was gonna say I've seen that. I've considered using that myself a little bit. Yep. Yeah,
it's so good, and you have to do it in just the right way to get the
side
and everything. But Jaracraft's such a master.
He is for sure. I think it's funny how like all the people within the building community kind of like. Know of all the other people in the building community for the most part. It's like, oh, you got that one from this person, and you took that idea from this person, and you know,
Well, you know, it's as you know, the longer I'm doing this YouTube thing, the more I'm realizing it's a really small community. You know,
it is. It's a lot smaller than people think.
It's not the hundreds and hundreds I thought. It's really quite small. Yeah, especially of the specifically builders. Variety, you know, like I don't really know the redstoners and stuff. You know, redstone is basically only good for like blood drops, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't mind. I've kind of developed a bit more of an appreciation for redstone. Like
you have,
recently.
You're like the farm master now.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I appreciate the fact that having X type of farm means that I don't have to spend time grinding for that resource.
Yes, you did the smarter thing. You learned how to do redstone. I learned how to just recruit my friends to go do it.
Sounds like you did the smart thing to me. You didn't even have to learn redstone. You just,
that's true.
You know,
that's true. So yeah, so this is the end. This is the end temple. This was a real pain to build. This was one of the hardest builds here because of the symmetry. That was a real pain. It was like a lot of like.
What imagery specifically are you referring to?
Well,
you're just talking about like
symmetry,
all the little. Oh, the symmetry? You're talking about like all the little symmetry. Details and.
Because there's so many like. There's so many towers that are all exactly the same. It was in survival, it's like a lot of ender pearling back and forth and counting and back and forth and counting and count, This one took a long time, and this one does not lend itself well to YouTube.
I believe it.
It's hard to be like, hey, so today we're just going to copy this pillar. That's not all
Episode 432 exactly. Of detailing this corner of...
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I did almost this whole thing, just kind of late night grind time and whatever. But I think it paid off because it's nice.
Yeah, it looks awesome. This looks like something that Jaracraft would build in his like transformation videos.
It does. It does look like that.
And he uses World Edit and Voxel Sniper and all that kind of like creative mode cheats stuff. Right. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. But
there's not. No, there's not.
But to do something like this in survival is like, that's an undertaking for sure.
Well, I had at the time I had a couple friends who were just grinders, just loved grinding DNA and Key, and shout out to them because I said, hey guys, I want a hole here that's like 220 blocks by 220 blocks down to bedrock. Okay. And they did it. So I didn't have to gather any materials for this one myself. I just did the building,
Did you offer them bits? Did you tell them to dig your bits?
I offered them eternal gratitude instead.
Oh, even better. A sense of pride and accomplishment. Exactly what every gamer wants.
That's right. Exactly. But yeah, I think this is probably a good place to wrap up.
I agree. Today. I think this is a great place to wrap up the first episode. We will continue looking. You said this world has been around for what, 300 episodes of YouTube videos and a bunch of stuff that didn't get shown on video. So like, there's a lot of stuff to see here. But we're out of time for the first one, guys. So I think we're going to wrap this up here. Remember, if you have questions, check the description. The answer to your question is probably in the description. Don't make me tell people to check the description. Go check out Fixxitt. He's doing incredible things. But I think that is about it for this one. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.